Tonight, we explore one of the most feared creatures in Southeast Asian folklore. A being so horrifying that even speaking its name after dark makes elders uneasy. In Indonesia and Malaysia, they call it Kuyang, a woman who practices dark rituals. And at night, her head detaches from her body, her organs hanging beneath her neck, floating silently in the air, searching for pregnant women and newborn babies. These are not just legends. These are real testimonies from villagers who claim they have seen the Kuyang with their own eyes. Story 1: The Midwife's Encounter. In a small village in Kalimantan, a midwife named Sori was known for helping mothers give birth safely. One night, she was called to assist a woman in labor. The house was near the edge of the forest. There were no streetlights, only oil lamps. After delivering the baby, Sori stayed overnight to watch the mother and child. Around 2 a.m., she heard a strange, wet flapping sound outside the window. Flap, drip, flap. She thought it was a bird. But then the baby started crying uncontrollably. Sori walked toward the window, and what she saw froze her blood. A floating head of a woman, with long black hair, and below it, dangling intestines and organs. Shining in the moonlight, the creature was trying to squeeze through the wooden window gap. Sori quickly grabbed garlic, salt, and a broom, traditional items believed to repel the creature. She shouted prayers and threw salt toward the window. The Kuyang shrieked, a high-pitched sound like metal scraping glass, and flew away into the dark forest. The next morning, villagers found strange, blood-like slime outside the house. Story 2: The Husband Who Followed It. In another village in Borneo, a man named Rahman noticed his pregnant wife becoming weak every night. She complained of nightmares, feeling watched, and waking up exhausted. One night, Rahman stayed awake with a parang knife beside him. Around midnight, he heard scratching sounds on the roof. Slowly, he stepped outside and saw something floating above his house. At first, he thought it was a plastic bag caught in the wind. But then, it turned around. It had a woman's face, pale, with glowing red eyes. And beneath it, organs swinging like ropes. Rahman chased it as it flew toward the forest. He followed it to an old wooden hut. The creature slipped through the wall like smoke. The next morning, Rahman gathered villagers and returned to the hut. Inside, they found an old woman living alone. Hanging from the ceiling were herbs, jars of oil, and a strong smell of blood. The villagers believed she was the Kuyang in human form during the day. Story 3: The Nurse's Night Shift. A nurse working in a rural clinic in Sarawak shared a terrifying experience. The clinic had only one maternity room. One night, while checking on a newborn baby, the nurse heard tapping on the glass window. She thought it was rain. But there was no rain. When she looked closer, she saw a face staring at her from outside the window, floating, smiling, its tongue licking its lips. The nurse screamed and turned on all the lights. The hospital dogs outside began howling wildly. Security guards ran out but found nothing. The next day, an elder told her, "You are lucky. Kuyang cannot enter bright light." Why people still believe in Kuyang? Many villagers still hang garlic, mirrors, and thorns near windows. Pregnant women are never left alone at night. And midwives still carry salt and prayers with them, because they believe the Kuyang is not just a myth, but a practitioner of black magic who separates her head from her body to gain immortality and beauty. Whether you believe these stories or not, one thing is certain. The fear of the Kuyang is very real in many Southeast Asian villages. And to this day, people still report seeing a floating head in the night sky. If you ever hear wet flapping sounds outside your window at 2 a.m., don't look, just pray, and turn on the lights. Subscribe for more horror folklore stories around the world.